Good morning, Ridge Records Fantasy Football League 2021 Week 1 recap video. Wish I could be more excited, but I can't. My team's awful performance this week was led by the amazing Aaron Rodgers, who put up a whopping 1.32 points before he was mercifully benched in the fourth quarter. Thank you for that. Truly amazing. Makes me look like a genius drafting you. I really thought he would have more to prove, but he was the MVP, and he's going to be a good quarterback. We just got to give him a week to settle down. If that turns out not to be true, he will be getting benched on my team also. But you didn't come to hear from me, so let's get right into this week's scores. Week 1 results. The media fell to Team Suckadicka 80 to 114 points. Championship for Miles put up 86 points against Raiders Nation's 158. Let's take a moment to talk about that. The Raiders Nation has won the Losers Trophy 2 years in a row. This has got to be the best opening game they've ever had in their career. They also spanked the commissioner, who has used them as a farm team for the last several years. And conspiracy theory has it, and it is being investigated, that the commissioner has absolutely taken advantage sexually of team owner for Raiders Nations in exchange for trades. Unconfirmed, but speculated. Moving on, Riding with Biden put up the week's low score of 76 against the Booty Lickers 129 points. Social Justice Warriors lost with 117 points versus the Roster Baiters week high 166 points. Nice work, Roster Baiters. Bayside Tigers in their opening game in the league put up a good 143 points against Missing My Young Hoes 109. And in the game of the week, with the biggest blowout spread of 73 points, Jags fell with a miserable 90 against the Nut and Butt Sacks 163 points. That kind of week. In case you can't do the math, those scores bring our standings to the Roster Baiters leading the league after week 1, Nut and Butt Sacks in second place, Raider Nation in a career high third place, Bayside Tigers premiering in fourth, Booty Lickers in fifth, and Team Suckadicka in sixth place, rounding out the winners of the week. Social Justice Warrior leads the losers, followed up by Missing My Young Ho, Jags, Championship for Miles, the media, and in the caboose position, we've got Riding with Biden. I can't even make up that kind of irony. Let's go ahead and peek into week 2 and see what that brings for us. The media goes up against Social Justice Warriors, and the trash talking has already commenced there. Championship for Miles goes up against the Booty Lickers. Not the game of the week, but one I will be watching very closely. Riding with Biden goes up against Missing My Young Ho. Raider Nation plays the Roster Baiters in what should be a very good game based on week 1 performances. Bayside Tigers goes up against Jags. That will be the battle of the pussies. Cats, that is. And in the game of the week, again, Nut and Butt Sacks goes up against Suckadicka in the Dick game of the week. We love male anatomy here in the Ridge Records. It's, one of our rules. Again, that brings us to our segment that everybody's waiting for, the media comments from the team owners. First, I sit down with the owner of Raider Nation, who spent the weekend in Vegas watching the opening game for the Las Vegas Raiders. The pictures he sent were very nice, and I'm a little disappointed I wasn't invited. That being said, this is what he had to say about his big win over the commissioner. This win was a statement in how to play fantasy football. Solid draft that Yahoo graded at C, then trip to Vegas not seeing any games as I had full confidence in my guys. That confidence may have been overstated, but the results are the results. Let them play and only watch the commissioner bitch and whine on chat. That was satisfying, and then after 3 hours of blackjack and all games had been played on Sunday, checking the actual score. And yes, a total beatdown of Pete Rozelle wannabe. I had to Google Pete Rozelle. Let this be a lesson to all of the Ridge. Don't sleep on the trophy holder. Now to attend the best game of the week. Go Raiders. Glad you are not here. Next, I spoke with the team owner of Nut and Butt Sacks about his win in the game of the week over Jags. I wish I could be more excited about this win, but it was Dirty D. You know, it's like when Alabama plays a shit team like Strayer University and blows them out. Meaningless, but it's a win. Did I mention his kicker? He did well with that pick. Might just send him a trade for that guy. Maybe he can build his team around him and do some magic, but we all know that won't happen. And Gronk? What the hell was that? I'm going to have to leave this statement with that. Rest in peace, Dirty D. Well, that was a bold statement from the team owner of Nut and Butt Sacks. And what he's referring to is the fact that the team owner of Jack's Jags, Mr. Dirty D, dropped Gronk in the beginning of the week and started his other tight end. Gronk put up approximately 25 points with 2 touchdowns this weekend. The other tight end? Goose egg. Smart decision there, Jack's Jags. Way to roll. Team owner of the Social Justice Warriors had this to say about his loss to the roster baiters. Is it a coincidence that Riding with Biden and Social Justice both lost in the same week? I don't think so. This league doesn't support social justice progress, and it's obvious. Sorry, that's the vaccine talking. On a serious note, my second mom started Ronald Jones this week, so his week was over before it even really began. As for me, just win against a tough opponent, so not too worried. I will win next week, guaranteed. And for everybody watching, his opponent this week is me, the media. And he's going home with another L. While I was talking to the team owner of Social Justice Warriors, I went ahead and talked to his second mom, team owner of Riding with Biden, about his big loss. I spoke to first mom about the completely one-sided league, how some people year after year that still live in the Ridge manage a 100-point or better game every game. I told her I was going to lose this week by at least 70 points. She told me good. This past year sucked. What the hell do you think you're doing trying not to lose? Do you want a President Harris or Pelosi? Are you out of your mind? Think about the rest of the world. So that's why my team sucks. Has nothing to do with management. You are all welcome. I then went on to ask him if he just did whatever his wife told him to do, and he had no comment. He did blink twice, though, so I think that means he's in an abusive relationship. Good for him. Team owner of Missing My Young Ho and the eternal second place finisher in our league had this to say about his loss. Well, obviously the outcome isn't what we wanted, but my team did okay overall. Remember, this is 80% luck. Who's ready for a crooked trade? I corrected him that this is in fact 90% luck. Jack's Jags team owner had no comment this week to the media. I think he was just crying in his Fruity Pebbles. Team owner of Suck a Dicka had this to say about his win over the media this week, which was hard for me to hear, but professionalism first. That's kind of my motto. There were no surprises for my team. I knew my team was going to come out and smack their opponent right in the face with a Ditka. What I am surprised about is that the team owner of the media now is forced to identify as bisexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that. He got slapped in the face with a Ditka and got drilled with a long one by my gay kicker. His kicker's not actually gay, but his name is gay. Really, no. His last name is gay. I'm not making fun of his name. His last name is gay. And it's also gay. Also, shout out to team owner of Raider Nation, who's clearly having the best week ever. Not only did he completely manhandle the unethical commissioner this week, but he's also in Las Vegas, taking creepy shots of anyone who walks by. Someone should notify the HOA that the next burn pit he has in his backyard will include his semen-stained underwear from Vegas. Yuck. And finally, I would like to clarify some misinformation and fake news going on around the league. Both the unethical commissioner and the media are trying to take credit for the newest member of the league, Paulie, team owner of Bayside Tigers. I would like to go on record as saying if it wasn't for Team Ditka, he would be sitting in his house after work creating Excel spreadsheets for fun and playing with his baseball cards. I uncovered the perfect combination of IPAs and 90s music that gets him out of his shell and into the limelight. He will verify this information. The media has reached out to the team owner of Bayside Tigers to verify this and has received no comment back. The media would like to take credit, in fact, for getting Bayside Tigers into the league. Thank you very much. And team owner of Suck a Dicka, good luck in the game of the week. Before I get into the comments of the final team owners this week, I'd like to go ahead and discuss my conversation with the commissioner. This is what he had to say after he insulted me multiple times. So this is all word for word. Sometimes you're the dog, sometimes you're the fire hydrant. Obviously, we all know I'm normally top dog, but occasionally it's good to be roughed up to prevent complacency at the wrong time. My season, championship season. No, it's not. My biggest takeaway of the week, the media got exactly what they deserved. The media, just like the real life, deserves to go winless on the season for all damage they inflict on this league with the barrage of misinformation and lies. Didn't even make sense. Like always, they tried to screw me this week again. And then he tries to show that I told him his comment was due by tonight, but real life gets in the way, and you know what? I'm not even giving him any more airtime. Team owner of the Booty Lickers had this to say over his win against Riding with Biden. Officer of the Month may as well go ahead and change his name to Hiding with Biden, because he's going to want to stay locked in the basement at Camp David for the remainder of the season. We're dropping Officer of the Month faster than the Democrat drops My Body, My Choice, and shifting our sights towards a more noble cause, stamping out corruption in week 2, sending the unethical commissioner into an 0-2 deficit. Don't be shocked when Yahoo stops counting points on Sunday night and we wake up Monday morning to a miraculous victory thanks to a 3 a.m. point dump for the commissioner. We shall overcome. Well, in light of recent events and comments by the commissioner, I am actually completely unbiased and spin-free going to root for the Booty Lickers this week. No booty too big. Second to last comment, my conversation with the team owner of Bayside Tigers, the newest member of the league after his premier win. After 1 week, I'd have to say this league is a lot of hype as it relates to homosexual acts. Way more sucking of dickas, booty hole licking, roster baiting, gay kickers drilling long ones, and butt sacks than I was anticipating. We warned you. I'm just a regular dude who likes to push around his electric lawnmower every once in a while. And speaking of which, I know a lot of people in this league say, fuck the media, or, hey, the media, you suck, or, did you hear about the media has a really small penis? I'm going to go cry now. But to them, I'd say this. The media is not the problem. The problem is the fucking paparazzi, aka championship for miles. He pretends to be a league commissioner, voiding trades and kicking people out of this wonderful league, but the reality is he is a dirty, filthy paparazzi that harasses us innocent players. I'd say I look forward to crushing him in the regular season, but he conveniently rigged the regular season so we don't play each other. Coincidence? I'm sure it is. Finally, the league's leader after week 1, team owner of the Roster Baiters, had this to say about his win. We successfully established dominance by taking out the biggest guy in the yard. Now hold on to my pocket while the Roster Baiters run train on the rest. Yeah, we're all going to be peeing sitting down at the end of the season after the Roster Baiter has their way with us. That wraps up the week 1 recap video for the Ridge Wreckers 2021 Fantasy Football League. As a reminder, and I failed to mention this in the opening, this is a comedy. So if something offends you, you don't belong here. That being said, remember, the great philosopher Mick Jagger always said, you might not get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you might find you get what you need.